So we're gonna try this again. Apparently this app is flaky in regards to being streamed by OBS. It's a bit frustrating, but it seems like there are a couple games like that where OBS just doesn't pick it up properly. Can you guys see that? Hopefully you guys can. What is this, you may ask? Well, my friends are poor influences and roped me into resubbing. So this appears to work so far. I'm not sure how well OBS is going to detect it. I'll report you. Sure, go for it. Haven't done anything wrong up to this point. So the backstory is, yeah, it's 30 FPS instead of 60. It'd be like that. I apologize. I do need to look into OBS a bit better so I can be a better streamer and all that stuff. So the backstory is, a couple of years back, I did receive a call from Tony Gardner, and he said, look, like, you were in fact banned for the articles about iRacing on PRC, which is kind of a sketchy admission because now you're saying you can't review a game in a certain way without receiving an account ban, which is really sketchy in terms of like actual legality of it. And he said, would you like a full refund for your account, or would you like to just come back and just go racing? I said, can I have a refund for my account? Because at the time iRacing was actually in a very bad state, and $800 is $800. I think the whole refund was like $940 Canadian. It was a lot of money because I at one point was a 100% content owner and all that fun stuff. And I took the money, and fast forward like 2.5, 3 years later, Dustin keeps wanting me to get back on iRacing. My buddies obviously are all big onto iRacing because they're all American Oval guys. And so I figured, why not? Especially because I know what content to avoid, and I know not to spend money on shit that people never race. It can be a lot cheaper, which is good. And yeah, I'm really just here to dick around. So I've already done 4 races. I won the first 3 street stock races I was ever in, and then I won a K&N race last night. So this account is technically 4 for 4, which is kind of wild. We're already a D-class license. Yeah. So the main reason I signed up is obviously our calendar's kind of fucked this year. Because Dustin ended up getting called into work, and I figured I need my oval racing fix, and if we're not running a car in the real world all that often, this is the next best thing. I plan to be running the ITZR Super Late Model Pro Series. I'm signed up on that. I already paid the entry fee. Me and a bunch of my buddies will be running in that. One of the organizers I've known dating back to like 2006 or '07 on the old Nitro Sim site. So yeah, I really just re-signed up because I wanted to run a private late model league. Can you beat Jacoby? Yeah, I know for a fact I can. I know of Jacoby, and I used to have him on my friends list back in the day. He was before he went like kind of off the rails there and went like full like Jacoby. I actually didn't mind racing with him. He was a good dude. I know there are other people with bad stories about him, but like if I saw him in like, let's say like a C fixed or an A fixed room, I had no issues with him. He's a good guy to race with. He's just eccentric. I mean, obviously, like, I could probably go on to a whole rant about, like, what's happening with Jacoby right now. I don't really feel the need to. Maybe if I bring it up with my buddies a little later, we can go over it, because Chris and Travis will be on later tonight, run some races. Never go full Jacoby. I know. So anyway, we're going to turn some laps. I hope this works. If it doesn't, please bitch at me. Gonna try running in windowed mode here. So under a fake name, I know people are like gonna like shit on me for that. Like I'm not here to cause trouble. I'm here to actually just like I'm here to run in a private league with my friends and dick around on some short tracks. You are allowed multiple counts on iRacing. Lots of guys have. Uh, they do it because in peak, if you like, you can fuck up your I rating, if that makes sense. So guys will have second or third accounts so they can dick around on like other tracks, other cars without ruining their like 6,000, 7,000 I rating, which makes sense. I don't blame them for it. Also, if you do get refunded, you can come back to the service. I know Chris Miller did a whole bunch. I know Barrett Rolfe, who's a former GT Academy winner. We've had him on the stream once or twice. He got a refund. He was part of that iRacing Le Mans protest a couple of years ago, and he actually got a full refund from iRacing for how that event played out, and he re-signed back up, and he's running an esports team right now. So like, you can do it. So this is a car when I was big on iRacing like 6 or 7 years ago that I won 2 straight like championships in, like overall, not Div 3 or region championships, but no, I was the best driver on this car on this service for like a year straight. I beat Ray Alfala, I beat all the top split guys. This is essentially my car. We'll do some practice. They're at Dover this week. Dover's a fun little track, about a mile long, out in Delaware. Actually takes skill to drive.
Low car down low. Low car down low.
How'd we fare? Hey, not bad. P2 on the first lap.
Car stop low.
So to train myself, I'm not running a virtual mirror. I'm running the authentic cockpit mirrors. It's a fun little gig. In a real car, you really can't see the rear view mirror all that well. So you go mostly by the A-pillar. So how are we doing here in practice? So we are under the name Mitchell Harlow. Just a generic name I made up, kind of. The car, I'm not running my normal livery, and like I said, I don't really want the attention from it, because I know there are people who are like really avid fucking boomers in this, and just like TeamSpeak drama and shit. And I don't need people wrecking me because, hey, it's the guy on PRC. So it's kind of a way to fly under the radar. And you are allowed to use fake names. Chris is under John Ambrose, which is like a wrestler's name, or like a wrestler's legal name. And you can just ask iRacing to change your name and they'll change it for you. Let's see if we can get P1. Only a 10th off. We're a bit slow.
Low car up high. Go high.
The fuck are you doing, bud? Oh, we picked it up, 1-6. And again, this is iRacing for you. Your first lap is always the fastest, so I'm literally going to go out, run one lap, and bring it back in. That's not me ripping on the game to rip on the game, that's literally just how it works. So you go out, if you want to wave your dick around on the results screen, you go out, you run one lap, you bring it back in. Can we get your IRL car and P car street? No, we already have the SCCA Trans Am. It's basically the same thing, just quicker. I wonder if I could ask SRS to change my account name, since I'm not willing to change my Steam name to my real name for P cars too. Yeah, probably. This car is a former shell of itself. Yeah, like, I mean, the K&N car is neutered. For those who don't really follow NASCAR, This used to be like the NASCAR Xfinity car 10 years ago. And they put out about 850 horsepower. They're actually quicker than the Cup cars for a period of time, which is something a lot of, like, I guess your average NASCAR fan doesn't know. But there was a period of time for about a decade where the nationwide cars slash the Busch cars slash Xfinity were quicker. So this is from like that era. I believe this car's from like '09. And then now it was used for a period of time in what's called the NASCAR K&N series, which used to be Busch North. And it's a fucking mess up here. Cool. What are these motherfuckers doing? What is happening here? No, this is a wasted lap. Oh well.
Still there. They're outside. Slow car down low. Car stop down low. Go high.
See if I can get it on the second lap. That'd be interesting. I mean, it's probably done, but... no, we're not gonna get it. The tires in this game are so bad that you run one lap and it's over. Like, you basically lose a tenth. It's just brutal. It's not like in NRO3 where you kind of like, you work to heating the tires, and then you get like your 2 or 3 really kick-ass laps, and then the car, you know, kind of falls off over time. Here it's like, the moment you leave pit lane, your tires are shit. Again, I really want P1, that's why I just keep doing this. Last night's race was really fun. Chris and Travis both got taken out in a really big wreck, but I had fun. I led every lap.
They're inside.
Hopefully the quality's come through okay. I know the FPS isn't the greatest. I'm sorry. I'll work on it. Alright, let's go for P1 here. It's like a mock qualifying run again. We're losing speed now. That's the wall. I should sign up for the next race at about 10 minutes from now. That's why I'm streaming this. We'll do one more. Yeah, this is something people don't really talk a lot about in iRacing, is when you want to set a quick lap, you literally just run one lap and then pull back into the pits, go out and do another one. There's like, I mean, you can do like your proper fuel runs or your tire runs, but I like hot lapping, it's fun. Nope. Well, I guess we'll do a bit of a run here. Catch some people. Dick around a bit. What are you doing? You're bad. Why do I recognize the name Camden Murphy? I feel like he's like a truck driver or an Xfinity driver.
Slow car ahead. Car stopped ahead. Go high.
Green stripe is B class, I think.
Car outside. Stay low. Clear. Car outside. Car stopped at 5. Clear outside. Car outside. Clear.
Hi. Hold the brake. That was kind of my fault, but not really. He was kind of chopping. Oh, that's why I recognize the name. Is that the Monster Jam guy? Or yep. Ethan's got it. Rip. Yeah, I mean, I came up and he came down. That was a racing thing. Anyway. Camden Murphy from Illinois. Okay, we'll give it one more run here. That's pretty neat. That's gonna be close. Oh, 3000s. P1. Yeah, you gotta get like right on the fucking apron. Okay, so that's pretty cool. We're quicker than a big time NASCAR slash Monster Jam driver by 3000s. There's our car we're running. Usually I paint my own cars, but I decided it's best to not paint my own cars because that gets me into trouble. So we're gonna quit from this session. So you're gonna see Ricardo here in a second. I apologize. Sometimes there is such a thing as too much Ricardo. Why are there 20 people watching me? Dude, it's the fucking K&N cars. Come on, guys. Alright, let's sign up for a race. 86 people. Holy shit, this got popular. I don't know how we'll do, but it's whatever. So again, I'm in the process of signing up for a race. This shit never had fucking 86 people when I used to run it. That's pretty cool. Okay, I'm stuck at preparing session right now, so this is not good. Look at all these people looking to stream snipe you. Yeah, you're right. Have to catch me first, though. So we'll boot up another session here. Hopefully it doesn't break OBS. I have to constantly check, which is suboptimal, but oh well. Hopefully you guys can see it loading the Dover Monster, and hopefully it's not broken. Hey, look at that, it worked. Why was I having issues last night? I don't understand. So 94 people signed up, which is completely insane. As for garage settings, what are we doing today? We're going to a 12-to-1 box, and we're doing 62% bias, because once this car starts getting into the green run, if we make it that far, you do kind of need the brake to run the bottom. It starts plowing a lot. I'm really not happy with the lighting in the cockpit. It's got this like weird, it's like a film, like a shiny film over the car. You can notice it on the hood. It just looks horrible. That's the line. That felt really good. That was a 23.98. It's a good run. If there's a lot of people signed up, it won't put me in top split, which is kind of disappointing. But I presume we'll get there eventually. Last night we only had about 40 people in this race, so I lucked out and was like car 18. Got thrown with a bunch of good guys like Thomas Lewandowski.
Car down low.
Raja put in a good lap there. Session you are registered for is starting. Please exit the sim and join. Okay, cool. Boot the game again. $14-to-1 goof, nah. Anyway, we have like 25 people, so thanks for coming out. Appreciate it. To answer the obvious question, this drive's horrible. The force feedback feels like there's like loose plastic marbles, or just loose marbles in general, inside the like steering column. And I've messed with the dampening and done all that fun shit, it just doesn't change it. So are we in top split? No? Who the fuck are these people? Div 3, Div 4, uh-oh. This is gonna be a mess. So I'm car 14 in like a Div 3 race. Bit terrifying there. So this is not top split. Really don't know how good these guys are. A lot of these guys are probably just new to the service, so it is kind of unfair. There might be a couple guys on like alt accounts. So you get a 3-minute practice, 5-minute queue. Go turn so. Oh fuck! Forgot to change the steering box. No, wrong button. Yeah, the force feedback is brutal. It's really, really bad. And the way the car drives, it feels like the shocks are broken, which, Billy, I don't know. I think that's something we touched on the last time you were in our chat, but it just feels awful. It's like the worst riding car you could imagine. And even like coming off a pit road here, like it feels like you're gonna wreck. Which, I mean, they let like 17-year-olds in these cars. And like it's getting loose on the apron at quarter throttle. It's just really brutal. Bit of understeer there. Not a good opening lap. Guy behind me is putting together a good one. Someone around a 24-2.
Got a car stopped ahead. Go low, go low.
Yep. I need to push it a lot harder
Car stopped ahead.
during the Q lap. Because it looks like Steven Daddio beat us. That can't be a real name. Anyway, we're in qualifying now. Check the stream one more time. Do we see any white liveries out there? No, I didn't notice anything. So as an NASCAR illiterate, this car is basically equivalent in terms of series to F2 or F3. Yeah, it's like F3. But it's like it's hard to explain. It's like an old F1 car. How about that? But then they put a different engine in an old F1 car and made it easier for the kids to handle. Because that's how the real series is. You know what? It's kind of like the Lotus Exos. If you know that car from Assetto Corsa. Alright, let's not shit the bed in like third split.
Here comes your first time lap. One more lap.
Well, I got loose out of two and the tires are shot already, so I'm just going to back it off. So car 1, Cody Sleeper, 24.0, pretty good lap by him. Basically everything 24.1 and quicker is really good. So this is actually a semi talented field. So even though this is definitely not top split, that's pretty good. So we'll get out of the car. I have to pee. So gonna take like a 30-second breather. I'll come back, look at some comments. Alright, we've returned from our potty break. About 90 seconds till we got a grid. You should start P20. No, not in this series. There's no yellows. It's a mess. For the super late series, though, they're inverting the field, which is kind of interesting. So we picked up some good pace compared to our practice time, which is really good. The queue times are insane, though. Who are these people on the grid? I said anything 24-1 is fast. So the top 10 are actually really good. So these guys have been putting in the effort to practice, which is good for them. How many yellows do we get? None. There's no yellows in here. It's like, this is as close to NASCAR heat as you can get, and that's why I've always kind of like memed that I've never understand why people really shit on heat. I mean, like, I get it to some extent, but like, people will be like, well, I don't, heat's just this arcade game, and heat's unrealistic and all that shit like that. And then they come over to iRacing and they run in a series with no yellows and fast tows, like quick repairs, and it's literally the same thing. And I think heat handles tire heat and just behavior a bit better. Like, you can wheel the cars, whereas in this you're just like driving at 60%. So then it's how slow can you go? Yeah. The super late model is a bit better. So we will check our setup one more time, which is really just steering box and front brake bias. Well, so this is start number 5 on this account. Yeah, and if you report me and they do something about it, I'm just going to bitch and be like, I'm not even here to, like, be a dick. So the side mirror is configured, the rear view mirror is configured. Hopefully y'all can see it. It's looking good. This is probably not the race to watch, Mr. Blint. This is like not the very low rung on the iRacing totem pole, but it's close to there. So there's no caution flags, there's no pit stops. It's a 45 lap sprint race. Very, very good qualifying grid, though. So, unfortunately, I'm going to have to play games on the start. I'm ranked car 14. iRacing does their car number where it's like the highest rated driver. The highest rated driver in the room has the number 1 car, and then it like descends. So being car 14 in like a medium split like this is hilarious. Just waiting for the pace car to move. So we get one pace lap. When the pace car pulls off, you can accelerate whenever. Getting kind of bored. Everyone should be in the car. Again, hopefully y'all can see me. If something breaks, I apologize. It's really out of my hands now. I did have issues last night. Anyway, we're rolling.
1 lap till we go green. Line up on the inside. Pit road is closed.
I don't know where that A car is. I don't even know what color he is. So we're going to start in second gear. I'm going to try and play games here, which is dangerous just because the way Dover's architecture is. Out of four, if you get it on the throttle at the wrong time, you can spin. So we'll give the pace car a nice gap. So what I do in the real car, and I've roasted people a couple of times on restarts, is I hold a steady RPM. And when I see their front quarter panel out the right side of my eye, that's when I punch it. So I'll go give the car a gap here.
Get ready. Going green. Pace car is in.
Where is he? Fuck it.
Green, green, green.
Pretty good start. Already we're in the lap traffic.
Car inside. P5. You're up top. 3 wide. Still there.
I'm not stupid.
Outside. Clear outside.
That made things interesting.
Slow car up 5. Still low.
So one guy's just like outright dicking around here. That dude's loose. Leader's running the high line for reasons I don't quite understand. That one car is really loose.
Car stop down low. Go high. seconds. Still there. Clear.
Good little battle there. Let's go chase this dude down now. We do have time. Just gotta be patient. Save the tires because that's iRacing. In real life, this would be the moment where you say, okay, I've got some clean track ahead of me. I've got some tire life left. I'm gonna push hard to try and catch them. But no, in this, you're still just riding and being as smooth as you can. Sun's out. I'm gonna get a bit slick out there now.
Next car is the leader. Outside. Clear.
That fucking 15 car. That dude's gonna ruin the race, sadly. That car's gonna fuck up the corner.
Keep low. Clear.
So, and this is a point Chris has brought up both in TeamSpeak and on streams and just in general. We're all, well, most of us are using your real names. What has this accomplished in terms of cleaning up the racing? Because right now we've got a backmarker out there who's just blocking the leaders, right? So what has using a real name actually done to clean up the racing, right? And is that really better than what we've seen on SRS? No. Almost halfway. It's been kind of a shitty race with that 15 car fucking things up. Car's gonna start getting loose soon, so we're pretty well into a tire run. McMahon's really used up the tires now. Yeah, just, it feels like when you're driving, the shocks are just broken.
Go high.
That's the best way to describe it. It's not a smooth ride. The car's like wobbling everywhere. It wants to wander on the straightaway. It's a very strange feeling. Like, it never feels planted or settled.
Okay, we're halfway to the
And
finish.
it also doesn't feel like momentum's being transferred properly. Like, it feels like a really sketchy F1 car. It's so strange. Like, even on straightaways, it feels like I'm kind of going to spin out. Which is just bizarre. Thank you. Thank you to the lap car that pulled onto the apron for that. Like, at no point does this car feel, like, settled or safe or just the things a car should feel like. It just feels like it's the roughest ride imaginable, and the steering column is just rattling itself apart. I don't have my pedal inputs up, but I'm literally not full throttle until the straightaway. Getting a bit cloudy, so track's gonna grip up slightly. Not that it matters with these tires. Coming up on a back marker, hopefully they'll pull off. He is P5, so he's a higher rating than I am. Or Car 5, sorry. He's actually a higher license than me too. He's gonna pull off. He's gonna be a good guy about it, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Justin McMahon falling back to, I think that was 2 seconds? No, 1.7 seconds. So he did burn up some of his tires, either trying to catch me or pull away. And now he's unfortunately paying the price for it. You have to drive these cars so gentle, which, again, it's so different than NASCAR 03. And the feel is so different and everything, so it is a bit confusing. But thankfully I have a friend who is deep into the Peak Antifreeze series, so he can be like, oh yeah, the game, this is how you drive the game to go fast. But if you don't have that, if you don't have a friend who's at that point, it can be really confusing to get into iRacing. And I don't have the game sound cranked up the highest, but if you listen carefully, you can hear my throttle rhythm. I'm just like breathing on it through the corner. Gap's 2.4 now. We've pretty much got this as long as the lap cars don't fuck us. I'm really not pushing all that hard. Last night I was driving the wheels off it. Like, I really had to focus. 'Cause there were some good people last night in Top Split, but when you have 100 fucking people signing up and your account's a day old, that's the price you pay. Get to run with the shitters for a bit. But you know what, like, realistically, like, if you go run at your local track and some of the introductory classes, these are kind of how the races play out. Usually one or two guys will figure out what the fuck they're doing really quick and just stomp everyone, and then it's like not a race for everybody else. Like when I did the 3 super stock races in this, it was basically me and another guy at the front, and then you're just driving through like lap traffic who can't hold a line. And that's exactly what it's like, and you can see it at your local track too. That's how those races play out. Billy can probably tell some stories in the chat about like sprint car racing, and you see guys who show up and they just they're there because they bought the car, right? They don't really know how to race, but they're there because they could afford to. And you just see it on the track and the speed disparity. I think that 15 car is gone, which is really nice. The one thing I will say though, compared to when I was last big into this, the game looks great. They've done a lot of like shader model adjustments. And like there's motion blur and there's visually it looks really good. And I don't know if that's conveyed on the stream, but like just the addition of like motion blur and some of the shit that they've added, like depth of field, it looks so good. Like unbelievably good. Dover's maybe not the best place to try it at, but I know USA at night was beautiful, or like USA at dusk for the street stocks. Looked awesome. And you know what? I'm actually gonna yield to this guy, because this dude's hauling.
Car inside.
He's probably got new tires. I just had no desire to get run over by him. So I think you either get a fast tow in this, or you can go back to the pits and just get new tires. Which some people do just for the safety rating if they get in a wreck. They're trying to run out the race. Because the way iRacing safety calculations work is it goes on like on a per corner basis. So like if you only run 10 laps and you get wrecked out, the average incidents you were involved in per corner is high compared to finishing out the race clean and going, let's say, 40 laps, if that makes sense. So one wreck over 10 laps versus one wreck over 40 laps, it's less of a safety hit. So guys like Jarrett Cosby in front of us will come out, they'll go fix their car, they'll come out and they'll ride around being clean about it, which hopefully he will be with this other lap car here. And that'll make sure his SR hit isn't as bad, and then he just goes hits the wall and throws it all away. So that was a wasted effort. But it'd be like that.
One more lap to win.
So we're going to take the white here. Hopefully that won't be a wreck in front of us. Jarrett's going to go low. And I'm just like sandbagging right now. Like I cannot physically drive slower. He's smart, he goes on the apron. And we have now won 5 races in a row since starting this account. So I got out of rookie street stocks in 3 races, which is insane, because people used to bitch all the time on the forums that like they couldn't get out of rookies and they kept getting wrecked, and I did it in 3 hours. Or 3 races. Yeah, about that. Are you serious? Well, there's our first incident points. But like, what was the point in that? I'm off the racing surface. Lol. Oh well. 5 starts, 5 wins. Let's check the chat. Oh, let's scroll up. Are you guys still doing AC? Personally, I really don't want to do AC anymore. I've played it straight for... God, I don't know how long. I would say like 3 straight years. I remember I got into SRS like late 2017. Maybe even earlier. And I played a lot of AC and I still don't like how it drives. But I put up with it because it's okay. I'm really just here for the ego and for oval racing. I know it's bad, right? So we'll watch the start again. That was a dirty start. Yeah, if you clear people by the time you get to, like, the flag stand, that would almost be called a jump. And then the 11 car here, I guess that would be Josh. He gasses at the wrong time and hits the wall. I really should have ran it out and not got the incident points, but oh well. Okay, so I'm confused at who this person was. So, because this is the guy that was causing problems. So he starts like, I don't know what this dude's doing. Like, you should know at this point, if you're making it into K&N cars, that what you're doing here is incorrect. He takes the throttle, or he takes the green flag. He actually gets through the incident, so that's cool. And in lap 1, he's not even up to speed yet. What are you doing? Why? And then he wrecks by himself. So we're on lap 2, he's wrecked twice. Oh, come on, man. And then we all come up on him. I know you're not supposed to do this on iRacing, I really don't care. If you're protesting people for calling out bad driving on a stream, at some point that's just pathetic. So I play it safe and let people go around, which is probably the right thing to do. I don't... Like, he wrecked on a straightaway. And some of that is probably not his fault, actually, because, again, these cars feel like the shocks are broken. So he just loses it all on his own and hits the wall. It'd be like that. Car isn't turning, better keep accelerating. Yeah, exactly, right? He knows. That's the PRC cunt. Again, some of this is... Whoa. So it's been... He's on lap 4. And he is wrecked 3 times. Gets driven into. Yeah, and it's stuff like this. Okay, that was... I've seen this happen in the Pinty series, so... Right? Like, come on. Again. And then he quit at that point? I guess? Or he fast-towed. This is an adventure. That's why I'm watching this. I'm sorry. So he gets a brand new car, which of course is great. That's exactly how sim racing works, right? And he immediately walls it. Oh my god. And then he loses it by himself again. He's only 6 laps in. He's wrecked 6 times. This is hectic. So, like, when people say you pay for... Oh my god. You pay for iRacing and you pay for the best kind of competition. It's true to some extent, but, like, this is no better than what you'd see on SRS. In fact, this is probably worse than I've seen on SRS, which is a free app. So he fast tows again because that's sim racing. Goes out again. I don't... Like, I know the shocks are broken. I know that this game kind of drives weird and the car... He hit the wall again. I know that the shocks are broken. I know that the cars kind of drive a little weird and the tires wear really quick and it's just bizarre. And it legitimately can mess up your driving in real life. But I don't... It's not this hard. It's really not. Another wreck. That's what you do. You yank the wheel back into traffic, so he fast tows again. Oh, no, you know what? That was the 17x incident limit. I suspect he might be a controller or a keyboard user. Is there a way to see his control inputs? No, sadly. I mean, actually... Hold on. But, like, just why? Like, is that touchpad driving? I'm just lost. Like, it's like he didn't even... I don't know. I mean, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't what controller he's on, but... Yeah. Wow. Wow. Yeah, I don't know what to say. But anyway, it's iRacing. I might be on later. I kind of want to run the super late race, right? I want to get my license up to that point. Thanks for coming out. Might stream a little later when the guys are on. But until then, see you. We are 5 for 5 with this account.